Well, it's collection day. It's 19th of December. So she's picking the car up today. And I've got a couple of little errands to run. First things first is I've got to take it up to my local tyre place because I've noticed that I'm putting air in the two front tyres more often than you'd expect. I've had the car here about 6 weeks and I've put air in both tyres like twice, so there's definitely an issue with the front tyres holding pressure. Hoping it's nothing bad because the tyres in terms of tread are in good condition. I don't really want to put two new tyres on it. And also, this will be its first proper road test after its full service coolant test, and more importantly the brakes. Now, I did stamp on those brake pedals yesterday, that brake pedal I should say, and I've checked the fluid level this morning and it seemed fine, and if it can hold fluids whilst you're really stamping on it stationary in the garage, in theory there's no reason why it shouldn't hold fluid and not leak when you're just sort of driving along at normal road speed. I mean, it's stopping now. I'll put my seatbelt on. Hold on a second. There we go. Well, technically also I probably shouldn't be filming our journey with one hand, but we're clear that way. We're clear that way. Let's go. So we're off. It's driving nice enough. Thonk, there's awful roads around here in rural North Kent. Oh, this is a 30-mile-an-hour limit as well. And we don't want to go too mad. And also, we don't want to be hitting any puddles because I've got to give it a quick wipe over this morning. Now, when I come back from getting these tyres checked out, and ideally I want to wait till there's no one behind me and do a little brake test from sort of 50-ish miles an hour, but not until we get past this naughty speed camera. There we go, look how good I'm being. 30 miles an hour on the nose. Oh, I've just stopped and it's stopped. What the? Oh, it's just the world's oldest driver coming along. Yeah, oh Christ, difficult to tell what that was. One of the locals. What's this van doing? He's, well, it's stopping so far. Let's get some heat on because it's a little bit chilly. That'll do. Down there. He's done now. Right, okay. Oh, we can test the rear demister as well because that's steamed up a little bit. Let's hit that button. That was something I wanted to check. Oh yeah, I've got little lines forming on the rear window, so the rear demister is working. That's good. That's something I wanted to check after I disconnected it. So it's driving all right. It's driving all right. It's not up to temperature yet, but it's not a very warm morning. And what I'm hoping is, once I get past this little roundabout that's coming up in a minute, I'll be able to get it up to sort of 50 mile an hour ish and then stamp on the brakes on the straightaway. And then hopefully that'll give me a good time. Well, I'll be able to get it up to 50 miles an hour in this distance. Come on, got my little car, foot to the floor. There we go. Where are we at? We're getting there. Getting there. 60 miles an hour. And it stopped fine. Okay. I think these brakes are alright. Okay, that's good. I'm going to put this down now and carry on with driving the rest of the way. With both hands on the wheel, as recommended by the highway code and the law. Right, don't tell anyone. Alright, as we're on the downhill now and all of the messy stuff is done, it's just little tidying up things to do really, so it's key. I've seen better days, it's a bit ragged around the edges, so we've got some, not a new key, but it's a new, or some new bits, so I'm hoping that this will be a fairly easy, just sort of popping this apart, keeping the circuit board and the spring and the actual key itself, and transferring it into a new plastic surround and putting a new Fiat bit on this sticker. I don't think these are original. How does that look compared to that? No, not bad, I don't think, not bad. Right, well, it's going to be better than that anyway. So yes, hopefully an easy job. Yeah, that was a bit fiddly. I mean, it's got three little legs that fold over, whereas this is just a sticker. So yeah, and this doesn't feel. That's definitely metal, the original. I think this one is just some cheap metallised plastic, but it'll look a bit shinier in the meantime, so I suppose it's better than nothing. Right, before we stick it all back together, we've just got a bit of clean kitchen roll and a little bit of glass cleaner, which kind of acts like a mild degreaser. So we're just giving this a bit of a clean to remove any kind of residue or stickiness from it being in pockets before we stick this thing on, so give it the best chance of sticking for as long as possible, and then we'll just whack it all back together. Right, well, everything's had a nice clean. That's had a good going around with some glass cleaner. The dust that was underneath the button has come out. There was some sort of stickiness just from being in pocket and, you know, grease from fingers and stuff over the years. Needed a bit of a clean, so that's done. So I'm guessing now we just plot that bit over the top, get the new bit and plonk that on, and then do the other side and then stick the little button on. Or do we stick the little button on first while we've got room? Don't know. Right, we'll have to have a little look at this. We'll probably need two hands. Well, that wasn't too tricky in the end. And it looks alright, doesn't it? For a couple of quid off of eBay. There's actually a little film over this emblem, but I'm going to leave that on. Yeah, there we go. That still sits a bit proud because it is worn. It is still the same mechanicals inside, same spring, same actual key. It's just the cosmetics that have been changed. But there we go. That doesn't look bad at all, does it? Although that could do with maybe twisting around a little bit. There we go. Job done. Right, well, it made it back from the garage. Both front wheels taken off and the seals freshened up on the inside of the wheels. New valves, all done, 40 quid a wheel. So now it's just the very last finishing touches. Another quick hoover, floor mats in. And yeah, there, quick wipe around on the outside with some detailing polish. I've got some glass stuff to put on, which I'll get out in a second, and some more auto glim stuff from the Volkswagen garage. But yeah, we're very nearly there, so I'll just keep hoovering and we'll have a look when it's all finished. Right, this is the glass stuff. Just wipes on with some sort of stockinette cloth according to the instructions. I don't even know what that is. Yeah, using the stockinette cloth provided, allow 10 minutes to dry. So we haven't got that, so we're just going to use a bit of paper towel, wipe it on, give it 10 minutes, polish it off with water apparently, not glass cleaner, because I think that just takes it back off again. And that will help helps with water beading in the rain apparently, helps make it a little bit easier to see through the side windows in the rain. Can't put it on the windshield, I'm guessing because that's already got some sort of film on it. The side windows, rear windows you can do, so we'll just whack some of this on and that's another little job done. Well, there we go. Picked the car up on October 31st. Now it's December 19th and it is ready. It's as ready as it's going to be anyway. And it hasn't come out too bad really. When the light's in the right place, you can still see that there's loads of scratches and things that I just couldn't get all the way out, even with a 2-stage polish. But from a 6-foot walk around, from 6 feet away, you've been none the wiser. If I just stand back a bit so I can get the whole thing in frame, so I'm 10-ish feet away from it now, I suppose. And it really isn't bad, is it? From this sort of distance. The sun's in a really awkward place because it's December. The sun's just not getting high in the sky, so it's at exactly the right angle to really show off every little imperfection when the sun catches it. But I'm not going to complain too much really. The mirrors have come up reasonably well again from a distance. The wheels are as good as they're going to be. The slow punctures have been sorted. It's been brake tested a few times on the road up to the garage and back to do the wheel, so I'm satisfied that the brakes are fine and there's no fluid loss. The rear wiper is working. The aerial's been cleaned up a little bit. All the lights have had a good going over. The worst scratches have been sorted out so they're kind of 80 to 90% invisible. Again, if you catch them in the right light, you can still see them. The big scratch that went all the way down the side of the driver's side, there's very, very little of that you can see at all now. Very, very little. Even on the front wing where it's come somewhere around about here, that's pretty much gone. The big and the key mark up around here, this bit here, you can still see because the paint hasn't matched perfectly and I couldn't get a perfectly smooth finish on it. So that little bit there you can see still, and you'll catch it in the light. But by the time you're moving, even a couple of feet from it, you don't see it. The damage that was on the sill, again, if you catch it in the right light, you can see where the metal's not even, and you can still see just a tiniest little bit of roughness. That's where I just had to touch in a couple of tiny little bits after I'd done some flatting back. But it's right down the bottom of the car, and it's just a couple of feet from it, you're not going to see it. Inside, the sills haven't come out too badly. Again, from a distance, the getting in and out of scrapes are much reduced. Had a good vacuum inside. Dashboard's not come out too bad. It's pretty basic really, but it hasn't come out too bad. We'll have a little look from the passenger side. The door shuts. Haven't come out too bad. They're not all caked in spiders' webs and general mingingness. All of the long blonde hair is gone. The rubber seals haven't come out too bad. Door handles had a little bit of a polish. The bonnet's been touched in and sprayed, and most of the worst of the swirl marks are off. That's not a bad shine really. Headlights have been polished. The grille at the front has been cleaned. That's come out pretty good. Damage on the front wing. That scrape, again, you can stand just a couple of feet from that and really can't see it. I'm not too bothered about any tiny little imperfections that might still exist in the right light. There's a little scratch there you can see. Bearing in mind how scratched this front wing was, that's not bad. Again, there's marks here, there's marks here and here that just and there's loads of road rash here, which is going to just have to stay. And again here, this would needed to have been sanded all the way back and sprayed to get rid of this completely, and then you're trying to blow it into the old paint, and we already know that it's not an amazing colour match, so for the time that would have taken, it just wasn't worth it. It just wasn't worth doing, so she'll just have to live with the imperfections that are still on it. That black plastic's been re-dyed. Oh, hang on, just try and open the door properly. Again, on this side, it's come out not too bad. The sills are nice and shiny, mostly in the right light. Again, you'll get close enough and you can still see there's plenty of scratches and scrapes that, even with a good wet sand and a two-stage polish, some of these didn't come out. But again, like I said earlier on, I'm worried about these corners, so I've gone for a little bit of an improvement rather than trying to get everything perfect and risk damaging something. Again, you only see these when you open the door anyway. I did manage to find a little bit of Gorilla Glue just to put on this this bit of plastic here, or a bit of rubber I should say, so that's a bit more solid now. In the dashboard from this side really isn't too bad. I don't think you'll get proper size humans in the back seat, but there we go, that's just how it is. Handbrake cable, handbrake lever. There's still a little bit of discoloration on that. Now the bonnet. I can find where it is. There it is. And this is in a much better state than it was when it turned up. This really did need some work. So this scuttle cover has come off and been re-dyed. The windshield wipers came off and got a good clean. All of the engine plastic came off and got cleaned. Battery clamp, that was scrubbed with a wire brush and painted with Hammerite. Fresh brake fluid in there. That level stays constant now, which is good. The clutch fluid again. That was sort of drained out and topped up rather than bled all the way through. That wasn't the end of the world. That, and it's had a good clean and a spruce up in here, and doesn't look like it's best part of 85,000 miles under here. That's for sure. So I'm quite happy with how this has turned out. The under the bonnet's had a good clean and a vacuum. Again, none of it's perfect. It's never going to be a concourse car, but it's a perfectly clean and tidy girl's first car. So I think I can live with it. It's had a good clean. Pity about the boot badges, but they're just so expensive. And the boot itself has had a good clean. Although some stuff has managed to get in there already, I see. And underneath, tyre and everything's all in good condition, so don't have to worry about that too much. That was all okay. So yeah, all in all, really not bad. Certainly a lot better than when it turned up. And the little imperfections that are still on it there, you can see some here. There's a little dent there that you can see. I mean, to try and knock that out or tap it out, I don't have the equipment for that. And there's a couple here that you can see quite clearly. Again, I don't have the equipment to tap those out. And you're sort of looking at, it's diminishing returns really. If, let's say, a brand new car is, say, 100% condition, and this little second-hand Fiat was 50% condition. Let's say it's at, say, 70% condition now with 80 hours worth of time, I think. I'll have to add it up and double check. So 80 hours to get the car to 70% condition, to get it up to 80% condition, and touching all the other tiny little imperfections, knock those pock marks out. That might take another 20 hours. Then to get it to 90% condition, sand the wheels back, respray them, take that front bumper off, completely respray it with properly colour matched paint, you're looking at another 10, 12, 15 hours for that. So to get that extra sort of 20 or 30% to bring it back to as close to showroom, you're looking at the same sort of time again, near enough. I could have taken the seats out, I could have taken the carpet out, shampooed the whole lot and put it back in. It just didn't need it. I could have taken the dashboard out to clean everything, to clean what deep down into the air vents and everything. But is it worth it for the sort of car that it is? So the time that I spent on it to get it to 70-75% of showroom condition from a distance, I think that's perfectly reasonable. So there it is, done. I'm going to put some ribbons on it now and bows and balloons and stuff, and then go and get the girl and give her the keys. Oh yeah, I've got to girlify it up because apparently it's not quite girly enough yet. So there it is, it's done, and overall I'm pretty happy with it.